if you're hearing this, it's already too late. That's not an exaggeration or some clickbait opener. It's a warning. Because once you know about it, once you see it, the clock starts. And you can't unsee it. Right now, there's a tab open on my screen. White background, black text, no ads, no pop-ups, no branding. Just one number, a countdown timer, flickering in the middle of the page. It's been going for hours. I keep refreshing, hoping it'll reset, glitch, do something. But it doesn't. Every time I hit F5, it stays the same. Cold, clean, consistent. 0-18, 07:43. That's 2 days, 18 hours, 7 minutes, 43 seconds. That's how long I have lived. At least, that's what it says. The first time I saw it, I thought it was some kind of prank. Maybe one of those creepy ARGs or viral horror websites trying too hard to go deep web aesthetic. I even laughed, this nervous, awkward laugh, like, nice try, internet. But then it changed. Right in front of me. I blinked, and the timer skipped ahead by 3 seconds. It wasn't lag. It was intentional, like it knew I was watching. You'll be tempted to look it up after this. I know you will. Curiosity's a disease. You'll want to prove me wrong, that it's just a story, a hoax, some clever bit of online horror marketing. That's what I thought too. But don't. I'm serious. If you search for it, you'll find it. And once you do, it'll find you. I don't even remember typing the URL. That's the worst part. 1 minute I was scrolling, half asleep, and the next it was just there. A blank address bar, auto-filled with a link I swear I'd never seen before. No bookmarks, no history, just there. When the page loaded, it didn't ask for my name or date of birth. No forms, no permissions. It already knew who I was. My cursor froze before I could close it. The text on the screen pulsed once, like a heartbeat. Then the numbers appeared. 11 days, 4 hours, 6 minutes, 12 seconds. That was 11 days ago. I told myself it couldn't be real, that maybe it was tracking my IP or running some random generator that spit out spooky numbers to mess with idiots like me. But then little things started lining up. The same numbers on a receipt. The same digits in a stranger's license plate. The same pattern in a dream that woke me gasping, drenched in sweat. Everywhere I looked, the countdown followed. I stopped sleeping. I stopped going outside. I watched the seconds slip away like grains of sand through a glass throat. And now there are only 2 days left. It's funny the way your brain tries to rationalize death when it's not theoretical anymore. You start making deals with yourself. Maybe if I unplug the router, it'll stop. Maybe if I delete the cookies, I can reset the timer. Maybe if I don't tell anyone, it won't be real. But it doesn't care what you believe. The website doesn't bluff. I tested it, and the test worked. That's how I know it's real. That's why I'm recording this now, before the clock hits 0. You want to know how it started, right? Fine, I'll tell you. It began with a post, just a link, one that shouldn't have existed. Transition to section 2. A link that shouldn't exist. It started on one of those sleepless nights, the kind where the world feels too quiet and your brain refuses to shut off. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, just scrolling, refreshing Reddit, diving deeper into rabbit holes I'd already been down 100 times. I think that's what makes this all worse. It didn't happen during some cursed ritual or dark web adventure. It happened because I was bored. It must have been around 3 in the morning when I saw it. I was in a thread called Our Unexplained Internet, the kind of place where people post haunted videos, weird websites, and late-night mysteries. The post wasn't at the top. It wasn't even visible at first. I only saw it after scrolling way past the comments, like it was hiding there, waiting for someone dumb enough to go that far down. The title was simple: a site that knows when you'll die. Don't try it. That was it. No clickbait emojis, no long explanation. Just a single link underneath. One of those strings of random characters that look like they were generated by something not quite human. The username caught my eye next. You when it knows you. No post history. No karma. Just that one post, timestamped 3:04 a.m. I clicked on their profile. 5 minutes later, it was gone, deleted. The entire account, wiped clean like it never existed. That should have been enough to stop me. Any sane person would have shrugged, maybe screenshotted it, and moved on. But there's something about forbidden things that makes you want them more. The post had 0 upvotes, 0 comments, like no one else could see it but me. I stared at the link for a long time. My cursor hovered over it. The screen's reflection flickered against my glasses, and for a second, I thought I saw the text move just slightly, like it was breathing. I blinked, and it was still again. I laughed under my breath, told myself I was being ridiculous. It's just the hour, that liminal, not quite asleep space, where shadows stretch longer than they should. Still, I copied the link into a new tab. The page took a second to load. Just blank, white, empty. Nothing but a soft gray flicker in the center, like a heartbeat waiting to start. I refreshed once, twice. Then words appeared. Welcome. This page predicts your death with 100% accuracy. It wasn't some edgy joke site with a skull background or flashing lights. It looked boring, sterile, almost corporate. Just text, perfectly centered. And underneath that sentence, one simple line: enter your full name. That's it, no form box, no login, no fancy UI. The cursor blinked underneath the text like it was alive. I stared at it, a chill crawling up my neck. Something about the simplicity made it worse, like the site didn't need to try hard to be creepy. It knew exactly what it was doing. I typed half my name, then backspaced it. I wasn't even sure why I hesitated. It's not like names mean anything online anymore. But this felt personal. I opened a new tab and tried to Google the website. Nothing came up. cached results, no mentions on forums, no archived versions on the Wayback Machine. It was like the internet didn't even acknowledge it existed. Then my screen flickered again. I thought it was my eyes, but the whole monitor dimmed for half a second before returning to normal. When I looked back, the text had changed. "We already know you." That's when my stomach dropped. I hadn't hit enter. I hadn't typed anything more. The cursor was still blinking. Only now it had moved to the next line, waiting. I whispered to myself, "Okay, someone's messing with me." I closed the tab, but when I opened a new one, it was there again. Same page, same words. My browser history said nothing had changed. My bookmarks were untouched, yet the page had followed me. That was the first moment I felt something close to fear. The kind that doesn't hit all at once, but seeps in molecule by molecule until it's inside you. I tried refreshing. Nothing. I even unplugged the router, thinking maybe my connection was looping or cached. When the page reloaded, it didn't even wait for the internet to reconnect. It just stayed there, pulsing faintly in the center of the screen, as if mocking me. I could hear my heart pounding. The air in my room felt heavier, the hum of my computer louder. It asked again, "Enter your full name." I don't know what made me do it. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was that twisted part of the human brain that wants to peek into the dark, just to see what's looking back. I took a deep breath, rested my fingers on the keyboard, and told myself this was just another story to laugh about in the morning. Then I typed my name and pressed enter. Transition to section 3. Just a prank, right? The screen froze for a second after I hit enter. I remember leaning back, waiting for the punchline, maybe a loud scream, a flashing demon face, or a jump scare sound effect. You know, the usual cheap stuff these sites pull. I even braced for a pop-up ad about antivirus software, but none of that happened. The cursor blinked once, then the text changed. Calculating. The word pulsed faintly, like it was breathing. I could hear the fan on my computer spin up. My internet light flickered. Then, after what felt like a full minute, the message appeared. Date of death, November 17th, 2025. 11 days remaining. That was it. Plain, cold, precise. I stared at the screen. My birthday's November 6th. 11 days away. For a split second, I thought, clever. Some algorithm scraping my cookies for dates. But that relief didn't last. I hadn't entered my birthday anywhere. Not on Reddit. Not on the site. Nothing in my browser tied to my actual date of birth. Still, I forced a laugh. "Yeah, sure," I muttered. "A website's gonna kill me. Okay." The whole thing was absurd. I minimized the tab and opened YouTube. Something funny, light, anything to shake the chill. But the video wouldn't load. The buffering circle spun endlessly. When I checked my internet connection, it was fine. Every other site loaded normally, except that one. When I reopened the tab, The timer had changed. 10 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes. I blinked. Wait, what? It was counting down, not just showing a date, literally ticking down second by second. I don't know why I didn't close my laptop right there. Maybe it was ego. Maybe I wanted to prove it was fake. I've always been the guy who debunks ghost videos and laughs at chain emails. This was supposed to be no different. So I tested it. I typed in another name, John Doe. The site froze again for a few seconds, then spat out a new timer. Date of death, May 5th, 2002. Past tense. I laughed out loud that time. Okay, clever coding, I said. Guess it picks random old dates for fake names. Except curiosity got the better of me. I Googled John Doe May 5th, 2002 obituary. I wasn't expecting to find anything. But the first result was a local news article. Unidentified body found near Clearwater Lake. May 5th, 2002. Coincidence, right? There are thousands of John Does. I tried again. Another fake name, Ashley Freeman. Date of death, December 30th, 1999. I Googled it. Another result, a missing persons case. The article said she was presumed dead after a house fire. I told myself it had to be the algorithm. The internet's full of data. The site probably scraped public obituaries to make its results look convincing. Logical, right? But that's when things got worse. I decided to test it with something that couldn't possibly exist. A made-up name, Liam Corder. I even added a fake birthday, February 9th, 1993. I hit enter, calculating. Then, after a pause, date of death today, 11:42 p.m. It was 11:39. 3 minutes. The hairs on my arms stood up. I stared at the timer as it started ticking down. 2:59, 2:58, 2:57. I wanted to believe it was a joke, some programmed countdown. But then my phone buzzed. A news alert. I don't even remember subscribing to local news notifications. But there it was. Breaking, fatal accident reported on Route 22. Victim identified as 32-year-old male. Name pending. The timestamp on the article read 11:43 p.m. I closed everything. Slammed my laptop shut so hard the screen flickered. My chest was tight, my hands shaking, but my brain kept clawing for logic. It had to be coincidence. Coincidences happen all the time. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about that timer. 11 days. That number sat in my head like a splinter. Every time I blinked, I saw the digits burning behind my eyelids. To prove it was fake, to prove I wasn't crazy, I decided to test it again the next morning. This time, I used someone real. My friend Marcus. He's the type who laughs at everything, the kind of guy who'd find this hilarious. I typed in his full name. The timer appeared instantly. Date of death, November 10th, 2025. 4 days remaining. I stared at it, my throat dry. I almost texted him right then, but stopped myself. What was I supposed to say? Hey bro, a cursed website says you're gonna die in 4 days. Yeah, that would go over great. Instead, I checked back the next morning. November 10th. There it was, his name on the news. Marcus Taylor, 28, killed in a car crash just outside of town. I dropped my phone. It felt like the room tilted sideways. I remember this weird metallic taste in my mouth, like my body was trying to process fear as something physical. I went back to the website, hands shaking so bad I could barely type. The timer was still running. 6 days, 12 hours, 14 minutes. But this time, it wasn't just counting down. Every time I refreshed, it shortened. By seconds, by minutes, sometimes even hours, like it was recalibrating, adjusting itself. 6 days, 12 hours. Refresh. 6 days, 10 hours. Refresh. 6 days, 9 hours. It didn't just predict. It updated. And somewhere deep down, I realized it wasn't measuring time anymore. It was measuring me. I closed my laptop and shoved it into the drawer. But that number stayed behind my eyes. It pulsed in my dreams. It echoed in the tick of the clock, the rhythm of my heartbeat. I stopped testing after that, because what if the next name I typed was yours? Transition to section 4. 11 days left. I started keeping a journal the next morning. Not because I believed any of it was real, at least. That's what I told myself. But because I needed proof. Proof that I wasn't losing my mind. Proof that the timer was wrong. I labeled it the experiment. Day 1, November 6th. The countdown read 10 days, 23 hours, 11 minutes. I wrote that number down on paper just to see if it changed overnight. The next morning, I checked again. The site didn't just keep perfect time, it anticipated me. When I logged on, the timer flickered for a second and then adjusted itself, shaving off exactly the amount of time since I'd last opened it. It knew when I was watching. By day 3, my routine had fallen apart. I'd quit checking my email, stopped answering texts. I was glued to that screen, waiting for any glitch, any hint of a pattern I could break. My laptop never turned off. I was afraid if I closed it, the page would disappear, or worse, move somewhere else. Then things started happening offline. It began small, my phone alarms going off at the same times. The countdown reached specific milestones. 9:11 a.m. 6:66 p.m. Yeah, that one made no sense. The clock literally glitched. Then my microwave flashed 00:00 when I walked past, though the power hadn't gone out. By day 5, I started hearing it, faint, mechanical ticks in the walls, syncing perfectly with the website's rhythm. I'd unplug my laptop, step into another room, and still hear it tick, 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 like a digital heartbeat following me. I remember standing in the mirror that night, trying to tell myself I was overreacting. My eyes looked sunken, skin pale from too much screen light. I tried to smile, just to see if I still could. That's when my reflection mouthed something I didn't. My lips were still, my breath caught in my throat. But the reflection whispered soft, almost tender. 7. I stumbled back, knocking over a glass on the sink. When I looked again, it was normal. Just me. Pale, exhausted, terrified me. Day 6. The timer dropped faster than it should have. I was sure of it now. It wasn't counting seconds, it was shortening them. The intervals between ticks were getting smaller, fractions shaved off, invisible unless you watched closely. I tried recording it. My screen capture software kept freezing at random frames. Every video file I saved was corrupted, except one. When I played it back, the timer wasn't on the page anymore. Instead, it showed a blank background with text in the corner. You shouldn't be watching. That was the first time I unplugged the laptop. But it didn't matter. That night, my phone lit up on its own. The lock screen displayed a timer that matched exactly what had been on the site. The digits burned faintly red against the glass. I tried turning the phone off. It turned itself back on. I smashed it against the desk, and the screen cracked, but the timer still glowed underneath, numbers bleeding through the broken glass. Day 7. I stopped writing in the journal. It didn't help anymore. The lines between what was digital and what was real had blurred. Strangers started acting weird around me. The cashier at the corner store paused mid-scan and stared. Then he whispered something I couldn't quite catch. When I asked him to repeat it, his face went pale, like he hadn't realized he'd spoken at all. Later that day, a woman on the bus sat next to me, even though every other seat was empty. She never looked at me, just whispered under her breath, over and over. 4 days, 4 days, 4 days. I got off 3 stops early. When I got home, I checked the timer. 4 days, 16 hours. The website didn't just predict, it responded. It was learning me. Day 8. Sleep was impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the countdown burned into the inside of my eyelids, glowing, humming, relentless. When I finally drifted off, the dreams were worse. I saw myself sitting at my desk, typing this same log. Only this time, someone else was behind me, watching. I never saw their face. I just heard slow breathing, like static dragged through lungs. When I turned, the timer filled the room. Every wall, every surface, numbers pulsing in perfect unison. When I woke up, my computer was already on, and there was a new line on the website. Manual update complete. The digits ticked down twice as fast. Someone or something was changing it. I tried disconnecting the internet. The timer didn't stop. It didn't even lag. My clock on the taskbar froze completely, but the countdown stayed smooth, unstoppable. That's when I realized this wasn't just running on my computer. It was running on me. Day 9. I tried contacting someone, anyone, about what was happening. My DMs sent, but the messages would vanish seconds later. I emailed myself from a different account. The emails came back as drafts before I hit send. I don't think the site wanted me talking about it. Day 10. The numbers were down to 1 day, 6 hours, 12 minutes. I stared at the page, trying to find patterns, hidden text, code, something. But there was nothing. No source data. When I right-clicked and selected View Page Source, it said simply, Access denied. No code. No HTML. Just those 2 words, repeated endlessly down an empty page. That's when it hit me. I wasn't accessing the website. The website was accessing me. I started tearing through my notes, trying to piece together every anomaly, every glitch, every sound. The ticks in the wall were louder now, constant. The mirror whispered numbers, even when I wasn't looking. And every device in the house, every screen, every clock, even the microwave displayed the same thing. 00:23, 09:17. 23 hours left. I sat there, numb, watching the seconds melt away. My thoughts weren't even my own anymore. Every time I tried to think of escape, of ways to stop it, another voice whispered over mine. You're not supposed to. The funny part, I still wrote everything down, still documented it all, because some part of me, some stubborn, desperate part, believed I could prove this was real before it was too late. But it's not proof I'm collecting anymore. It's evidence. Evidence for whoever finds this next. Because the site doesn't stay still. It moves on. And if you're hearing this, maybe it's already watching you too. Transition to section 5. Trying to beat the clock. Day 10, 23 hours left. The sound of ticking had stopped. Not because it was gone, because it had gone silent enough to hide. The kind of silence that makes you listen harder, waiting for the next noise to remind you what normal sounds like. I spent all morning trying to kill the site. I cleared cache, deleted cookies, wiped the hard drive, even smashed the router just to feel like I was doing something. But every time I booted a new device, my backup laptop, an old tablet, even a burner phone, the timer was already there. Same digits, same pace. No browser history, no bookmarks, no URL in sight. Just a white screen and the countdown, floating like it was burned into the display. I unplugged everything after that. Sat in the dark. It didn't help, because the moment I closed my eyes, I could still see it, the digits pulsing faintly behind my eyelids, glowing the same soft red as before. My heartbeat started sinking to it, thudding in time with every tick. That's when I decided to look for others. There had to be someone else out there, someone who'd seen what I'd seen, or better, someone who'd beaten it. I went to a throwaway Reddit account, typed death timer site reel. Into the search bar. Most of it was garbage, creepypasta reposts, edgy kids, fake ARG threads. But buried under all that noise, one post stood out. Our digital occult. The timer doesn't lie. Read before it's too late. Posted by You Null Theory 3 days ago. The comments were locked, but someone had mirrored the thread on an invite-only forum. I joined. No profile picture, no real name, just another anonymous ghost in the dark. Inside, there were others. People describing the same timer, the same page, the same dread. I started scrolling through the chat logs. Thread timer log 16. U/null theory. The timer matches your name plus birth record. It's tied to something deeper. U/deadbite. I changed my legal name. Timer followed anyway. U/static ghost. It's not a website. It's a system, like a network that picks you. U/null theory. You can't delete it, only transfer it. U/obsidian eye. You mean the trade. U/null theory. Yes. I froze. There it was again, that word, trade. Scrolling further down, I found more fragments. Half-finished posts, deleted messages, users vanishing mid-conversation. One log stood out, timestamped only hours before. Private message, null theory right arrow you. You've seen it too, haven't you? You're almost out of time. There's one way to reset the timer, but it's not what you think. The message deleted itself as soon as I read it. I tried replying, but the username was already deleted. For hours, I combed through every corner of that forum. People shared screenshots, theories, code snippets, anything to decode how the site worked. Some swore it had roots in a government project. Others thought it was a digital curse. But the most common theory, the one nobody wanted to believe, was that the timer wasn't showing your death. It was causing it. And if you wanted to live, you had to give it someone else. That's what they meant by the trade. Log survivor claims txt. U/L0G off. I copied the link and sent it to my brother. Timer reset. Don't ask me how. U/spectral noise. You pass it on with intent. Has to be personal. The system knows if you mean it. U/last ping. I tried. Didn't work. Now it says 0000031. User last ping disconnected. Every rational part of me screamed no. It was superstition, an internet myth designed to scare desperate people. But the timer on my laptop didn't care what I believed. 00/12/04/18. 12 hours. The thought of passing it on made me sick. Who would I even send it to? Someone random, a stranger, a friend. No, that wasn't me. I wasn't going to kill someone just to save myself. So I did the next best thing. I went back to where it all began. The Reddit thread. The one that led me here in the first place. The original post was gone. But when I scrolled far enough, I found something new. A single comment, 2 minutes old. You can't stop the sight, but you can slow it down if you watch yourself die. Attached was a link, not the same one as before, slightly different. A string of extra characters at the end. I hovered over it, shaking, debating. If the site wanted me dead, what was the harm in looking? I clicked. The page loaded instantly. No animation, no lag. Just a black background and a live feed of me sitting at my desk right now. The webcam light was off, but somehow I could see myself in perfect resolution. Every twitch, every breath, and in the corner of the feed, the timer ticked down. 00, 11:59, 59. 00, 11:59, 58. 00, 11:59, 57. I closed the tab, but the feed stayed. Every device in the room flickered to the same image. My phone, the cracked tablet, even the dark TV screen reflected it. Then, for the first time, the timer spoke. A voice came through the speakers, faint, glitching, layered over static. The trade resets the clock. Choose. The voice wasn't male or female. It was both, and neither. I didn't answer. I couldn't. The feed zoomed closer. My reflection staring back at me through hundreds of screens. You can't stop the sight. You can only pass it on. I remember whispering to no one, "No, I'm not doing this." The camera feed blinked, and then another face appeared beside mine. Blurry, half-formed, almost like it was still loading. But I recognized the outline. It looked like you, the viewer, the one hearing this right now. The timer on my screen began to reset. 00, 11:59, 00, right arrow, 0, 23:59, 59. Doubled, restarted. I wanted to believe it was a coincidence, that it wasn't real. But as I stared at the screen, the voice whispered one final thing. Soft, almost amused. Trade complete. End of log. Timestamp unknown. I don't know how much time I have left now. If the rules are real, then it's not my timer anymore. It's yours. And if you're still here, still watching, then the countdown's already started. Transition to section 6, the final hour. Recording start 11:00 p.m. Okay, it's officially my last hour. The timer says 00, 59:58, counting down in the corner of my screen like it's waiting to exhale. I figured, if I'm going out, I might as well document it. Prove this is just a glitch, a psychological trick. If someone finds this recording later, maybe you'll get a laugh out of how paranoid I was. Maybe you'll tell yourself, wow, that guy really lost it. But if it's not a glitch, then maybe this is a warning. Either way, I hit record. The room's dead quiet, except for my computer fan wheezing like it's on life support. I keep glancing at the clock on my phone, but it's frozen 11:00 p.m. sharp. My watch, too. Every device stopped the moment the final hour began. That's new. The site's still up, though. Black screen, white numbers, counting down. 0048, 07. Every time I refresh, the numbers sync perfectly with my heartbeat. I keep telling myself it's fake. I've said it out loud 3 times now, like repetition might make it true. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. The lights flickered on the third one. I can feel something humming in the air, not sound exactly. More like static inside my head. You ever feel a storm before it hits? That pressure that settles behind your eyes. It's like that. I'm probably just tired. 11 days of no sleep will mess you up. Still, there's this taste in the air, like copper. 003924. There it is again, the low hiss. I thought it was interference, but it's coming from the speakers, even though nothing's playing. When I lean close, I can hear faint whispers under the static, like people talking underwater. Every time I say something, they echo it back, half a second late. Something talking back to me, I said just now. And the static whispered back to me, yeah, I think it's safe to say I'm losing it. 003210. If someone watching this later, check your tabs. Seriously, if the site's open anywhere, close it. And if you clicked the link in the description of my last upload, don't. Just don't. You shouldn't have listened this far. 002645. The timer's flickering now. The background started to pulse, not bright, but rhythmic, almost like breathing. I'm recording my monitor with my phone, but the footage keeps cutting in and out, as if the site doesn't want to be filmed. There's a new line of text under the countdown. User VALIDATD. Session logged. My cursor moves, even though I'm not touching the mouse. The page scrolls by itself. At the bottom, there's a message I've never seen before. Session transfer will occur automatically at 0. Transfer to what? To who? 001703. The lights are flickering nonstop now. My reflection in the monitor doesn't sync up anymore. It's smiling when I'm not. That's new too. The static's louder. There are words buried in it now, full sentences cutting through like broken radio signals. Thank you for your submission. Remain where you are. You've helped us grow. I don't know what that means. I keep refreshing, hopping it'll change back to just the timer. But every reload makes the text sharper, like it's coming into focus. 001109. There's knocking at my door. I didn't invite anyone. I'm not answering. The knocking stops. But now I can hear footsteps, slow, heavy, packing the hallway outside my room. The site updates again. Do not attempt to leave the session. Okay, fine, you win. I'm staying put. 000742. My phone screen just turned itself on. Same timer, same numbers. The reflection's moving again. It's mouthing something, a phrase I can't hear. Wait, no, I can now. It's whispering along with the static. You shouldn't have listened this far. I swear, I can feel breath coming from the monitor. Cold, damp, the air's heavy, and the hum's so deep it's shaking the floorboards. 000359. Everything's slowing down. The numbers, the sound, even me. It's like time's thickened. The screen flashes. New text. Session transfer. Complete pending confirmation. Confirmation. What confirmation? 000111. There's movement in the webcam feed. It's showing me again, but there's someone standing behind me now, just out of focus. They lean closer. The static turns into a roar. Session transfer complete. 000007. Wait, no, what's happening? 000004. Stop. 000003. I didn't click anything. 000002. I didn't. 000001. 000000. Silence. Recording glitch. 0.8 seconds of static. Final system message appears on screen. Session transfer complete. Thank you for your submission. Feed ends abruptly. Fade to black. Audio distortion lingers, faint breathing under static. I wasn't supposed to see this video. It just appeared. At first, I thought someone was reposting another creepypasta. Same title, same thumbnail, the usual horror clickbait. But when I clicked on it, I froze. Because the upload came from his account, the same guy who vanished 11 days ago. His username was back, active, verified. The video title. The timer starts at 0. The exact same words he said at the beginning of his last recording. And the weirdest part, it went live 2 days after he died. I know how that sounds. Internet myth, posthumous prank. Maybe someone hacked his channel for views. That's what I thought too. Until I looked at the upload timestamp. The video went live exactly 1 second after his countdown ended. 000001. And according to the site logs, no one, not a single admin, mod, or automated scheduler, touched his channel. The file just manifested. No metadata, no edit history, no trace of how it got there. Just a 26-minute upload this story. And one pinned comment from the account itself. Session transfer complete. Since then, strange things have been happening on my end. When I opened the analytics dashboard, there was a new widget I'd never seen before, a small digital timer in the top corner of my screen. I figured it was a YouTube glitch, some beta feature being tested. But when I hovered over it, it expanded. 00114218. A countdown. At first, I laughed. The irony, right? I was editing a story about a cursed timer, and now I had one on my screen. Except it didn't go away. I refreshed, cleared cache, even restarted my PC. It was still there, anchored above my upload list like it belonged. And it's been ticking down ever since. Some of you have noticed too. I've seen your comments. Why does the timer show up in full screen? Is this part of the ARG? My phone started vibrating when it hit 11:11. None of that was planned. None of it was me. I tried deleting the video this morning. It wouldn't let me. Every time I hit remove, the same message popped up. File is in use. In use by what? Then I checked the last editor field and froze. It said null theory. If you remember that name, you've been here since the beginning. He was the first one to post about the site. The one who warned everyone it couldn't be deleted. His account disappeared months ago, and now he's editing my uploads. I don't even know how to explain what's been happening tonight. The video analytics are spiking in real time. Thousands of new views per second. It's like the algorithms feeding on it. The comments are looping, repeating themselves. Don't let it play to the end. Pause before 0. It's transferring again, and someone or something keeps replying to every comment with the same message. Thank you for your submission. I didn't write that. I didn't write any of this. But when I checked my drafts folder just now, there was a new file waiting there. No title, no thumbnail. Just a single sentence in the description. If you're still here, check your notifications. I did. There was a new alert. No username, no source, just the number 1. I clicked it, and my whole screen froze. Then, the timer from the dashboard appeared again, larger this time, pulsing like a heartbeat. 0, 0, 0, 0, 59. 0, 0, 0, 0, 58. And below it, a message. Session transfer in progress. I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to be scared or impressed. This was never supposed to be interactive. It's just a story, a voice, pixels. Right, except I can hear the static again. The same kind that played in his final recording. It's bleeding through my headphones right now. Maybe this is part of the story. Maybe it's some genius AI marketing campaign. But here's the part that keeps me awake. When I look closely at the reflection in my screen, it's not mine. It's his. He's mouthing something slowly, carefully. The words form like a whisper through glass. Pass it on. And the timer's almost at 0 now. If you're hearing this, watching this, or even reading the transcript, you're already part of it. The algorithm's how it spreads, links, shares, recommendations. The site doesn't need your name anymore. It knows your voice, your viewing time, your pattern of clicks. That's all it takes. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. You've just validated your session. Now you know when it ends. The question is, whose clock started